When these two nations meet on the pitch, a billion people stop everything. National pride, geopolitical history, and cultural weight ride on every ball. Go back to the 1990s, and one team held absolute terror over the other. Pakistan fielded an undeniable force, fueled entirely by explosive, unteachable talent. Leading that charge was Wasim Akram. Bowlers like Waqar Younis brought a raw, terrifying pace that no coach could construct. Their signature swing bypassed traditional defenses, dismantling batting orders through physical intimidation and individual brilliance. Across the border, India had its own isolated pockets of greatness. A young Sachin Tendulkar was already cementing his legendary status. But despite these individual stars, the team struggled to translate those highlights into a unified identity. During this era, one absolute truth defined the sport. If you had the fastest bowlers and the most naturally gifted batters, you won. Raw talent dictated global power. Look at the pitch today, and that power dynamic has entirely inverted. India operates as an unstoppable, highly calibrated machine, while Pakistan finds itself in a severe identity crisis, scrambling to win matches they once dominated. This chart tracks that trajectory from 1990. Their win rates cross over, then violently diverge. Pakistan still produces top athletes, so this split is structural. The era of the lone genius is over. Winning requires interlocking systems. One country built them, the other didn't. The Indian Premier League functions as a high-precision talent filter. It creates a structural guarantee that new elite players will emerge every single season to replace the old guard. Under the modern leadership of captains like Rohit Sharma, the philosophy of the team shifted. They replaced the reliance on individual superstars with rigid team roles, dictated by data analytics and hyper-specific game plans. This system is enforced from the top down. Coaches like Gautam Gambhir prioritize measurable performance metrics over reputation. If a player fits the strategic math, they play. If they don't, they sit. This approach created bench strength. A massive influx of raw domestic talent enters the top of the funnel, and the IPL filters them into multiple, interchangeable, high-tier players. India's backup players are now lethal in their own right. By removing the unpredictable variable of human fluctuation, India successfully out-engineered their opponents. They turned the chaotic nature of international cricket into a replicable science. Meanwhile, Pakistan's modern roster tells a very different story. Players like Babar Azam commanded universal praise and top world rankings as recently as 2021. Today, these same elite athletes are visibly buckling under pressure. Institutional instability has effectively crippled the team's growth. Over the last few years, the constant turnover of board chairmen, head coaches, and captains has made any cohesive, long-term strategy impossible. That chaos directly impacts the athletes. When leadership is unstable, players abandon forward-thinking strategies. They focus on survival cricket, protecting their own roster spots rather than pushing the team forward. You can see the physical toll of this broken system in Shaheen Afridi. Without reliable backup players to rotate in, he was chronically overplayed. The 150-kilometer-per-hour pace that made him famous has been eroded by exhaustion and recurring injuries. It highlights a brutal reality of modern sports. Even the most extraordinary physical talent cannot win without a stable infrastructure to protect and support it. A star athlete will eventually have a bad day, but a rigidly built, data-driven system never sleeps. For Pakistan to reverse this decline, they have to fix the foundation. Administrative reshuffling has to end so a vision can actually take hold, and they must align their domestic training facilities with current global fitness and data standards. Finally, they must build a talent pipeline robust enough that an injury to a key bowler or a slump from a top batter barely registers on their overall win rate. This rivalry represents the peak of international cricket, but it only hits its legendary status when both nations operate at full power. The future of the sport belongs not to the nations with the brightest stars, but to the nations with the smartest systems.